I want to turn this over to Danielle now so she can talk to you about how EPS uses Boost and their experience with other solutions. I think I should give her a proper introduction. Danielle has a huge marketing background, as you can see. She's been in marketing for over 13 years, market research, online marketing, brand management, etc. And lately, being the social media director, spending a lot of time using social media to brand EPS. And you may say, well, why is she talking to us about recruiting? It's because the recruiting organization and her recruiters in EPS report to her. And I see this a lot lately in organizations where branding of the company is very critical to new and finding new employee talent. And I think Danielle is a representation of that. So, Danielle, I want to say first off, thanks for joining us. I'm really excited to hear you talk about EPS.
Okay. Hi, everybody. This is Danielle. Thank you very much, Scott, for that introduction, and thank you for having me here today and for spending a little bit of time with me as I go through how our company is using Jobfox. We'll start out with who we are. We are electronic payment systems. We are a nationwide merchant service provider, one of the oldest and largest electronic payment providers in the U.S., and we are privately held. What that means is we are basically a credit card processor. We provide credit, debit card processing, check conversion and guarantee services, online transactions, gift and loyalty cards, cash advances, and our newest product, the No Credit Check Easy Payment Plan, to merchants around the nation. Our main target market is small to mid-sized business owners. So when we go out to do sales, it's more of a one-on-one relationship where our independent sales agents are going into the small business owner's company and presenting to them and selling them on our service. So for us, recruiting the independent sales agents and the independent sales organizations is crucial for our sales and for our company. EPS, we recruit for, as I said, merchant-level sales agents, as well as independent sales organizations. So we have two different types of positions, very different, that we are recruiting for. Although they're both based on sales, they have very different requirements and qualifications. Our outside sales agents, it's B2B sales, and their experience that they need as we use a consultative sales techniques, they're responsible for the entire sales process. So they need to do the lead generation, the presentations, as well as closing the sales. And then we recruit also for ISOs. Now, this group of individual is a much higher level sales professional. They have to have sales management abilities and experience, and they also have to have business management experience. As basically, we're partnering with these individuals to open offices across the nation. So not only are they just representing our product and selling our product, they're physically running a sales team in the field and running their own office. So going through this process, EPS has been around for over 20 years. Way back in the day, their recruiting was much different, as everybody's was. And in the past 5 years especially, things have changed a lot with the rise of the Internet. So we have obviously use the Internet to do a lot of our recruiting, but most of our recruiting was done on the major job boards. Over the past couple of years, we have seen our return on investment and our quality of candidates coming from all of these job boards decrease. So it's costing us a lot more money, and it's taking a lot more time to really find the qualified candidate that's going to join our company, represent our company, and actually produce for us and stay with us for a long time. What we've been finding with the underqualified candidates is that since it is a sales position, we get a lot of applicants that have retail sales or car sales experience, but they don't necessarily have the outside sales or the B2B skills. On the other spectrum, we get a lot of candidates that are maybe overqualified as an outside sales or B2B sales representative, where they may have business management experience, but they don't have any direct sales experience. And they can also, a lot of them can run a team, a sales team in the field, but they're not capable of running the entire office. So we've had a lot of poor results and very poor return on our investment, as well as just the numbers of recruiting. We recruit nationally. Every city, every state that there is, and we recruit a lot of people. So we're not just looking for one or two people. We're looking to recruit hundreds of people. We currently have over 1,000 independent sales agents across the nation, and we're increasingly trying to build those numbers so that we can get a better foothold in the industry. Another problem that we were having is even though we get the applicants in from the other job boards, we go through the time of interviewing them, we hire them, and we go through the time and the expense of training them, and then they don't produce and they just drop off. So a lot of waste. So in the past, as I said, we've used just about every recruiting solution that's out there we've tried. We've tried Monster, Career Builder, Craigslist, Sales Jobs, and localized job boards all over in every city, major city across the U.S. The pro of all of them, or especially the bigger ones like your Monster and Career Builder, is they do have a large database of resumes. So we were searching these resumes and getting in touch with the people, and that brought us the number of people we needed to contact, but not necessarily the quality of those people that we contacted. It is very time consuming, and it's difficult to manage so many various job boards out there. It's obviously very expensive because using so many different job boards, having contracts with each of these, either they're yearly contracts, which are very high, and we're still paying per post. And when we're recruiting 60 jobs at a time, that gets to be very high. And then we are only allowed to have a limited number of recruiters within those systems. So, for instance, I have a team of 5 recruiters in our office here, and only one is able to go into each one of those. And we also found that with Monster and Career Builder specifically, that we would sign up for unlimited search packages for a year, and then it's truly not unlimited. Although they say it is, once our recruiters hit so many people in a day or in a week, they're cut off until the next week or the next month. With the resumes that when we do the resume searches and the people that we were contacting, a lot of them were outdated and old resumes. So our recruiter would spend the time of sifting through these resumes, calling the individual only to hear that the individual is either no longer looking for a job, or in many cases they're unaware that their resume is even still posted out there. So with these issues that were going on, we decided that there had to be a better solution, and so we began looking for it. Being in marketing my entire career, I knew that the social approach was definitely going to be a better option for us as the whole world is going social, and I have always known that referral marketing, getting a referral has a lot more power than just calling somebody out of the blue. So we're looking to go beyond the traditional job boards that we were using. I wanted a better ability to target more qualified individuals, so at a more microscopic level. So rather than just recruiting sales in general, where I'm getting everybody under the sun that's ever had a sales position in a Macy's or whatnot, I wanted the ability to target them as far as I want them to have outside sales skills. I want them to be able to present. I want them to be able to close. I was looking for a much more cost-effective option. As I mentioned, paying per post gets very, very high when you're posting 60, 100 different jobs per month. And I also wanted to be able to have all of our recruiters go into these job boards and manage their own set of candidates, their own pipeline. I want them to be able to build a pipeline, and I want them to be able to keep in touch with those and get in touch with those without only one person being able to do it and then push the work out to others. So the solutions that, for the social recruiting solution, I reviewed Monster, I reviewed LinkedIn, and of course Jobfox. We'll start with Monster. So Monster we had used for many years in the past, as well as the others that I mentioned earlier. The pro is that they're a well-known job board. They've been out there for a long time. They have a foothold in the industry as far as looking for jobs or people, and we wanted to tap into that, which we did. But what we found, as I mentioned before, is that a lot of the resumes are very old. They're outdated. We would call, there'd be disconnected phone numbers, and in a lot of cases, the candidates' responses were dumbfounded. They didn't know why we were calling, why their resume was out there, and in a lot of cases, they were just irritated. And a lot of the other candidates were a lot more or a lot less experienced than what we were looking for. Um, so one of their new solutions that they came out with was this Be Known social application. So towards the end of our contract a couple of months ago, right before I joined Jobfox, I looked into that social application thinking maybe that was the solution we were looking for. However, it was not. It's very cumbersome. It was rather annoying in the beginning just trying to get it all set up. It wasn't user friendly at all. It was incompatible with my company page on Facebook, and I had to use my personal Facebook profile to utilize it, which I didn't particularly want to use my personal profile to recruit. Another issue that I found with that application compared to JobFox is that basically it's a social application, but it's using my already built network. So I have my personal Facebook profile, and it wanted me to put the application on my personal site and sift the jobs out to my personal contacts for them to send out to their contacts. That's their idea of social networking. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted a solution that was going to build the network off of their system, build the network of people that I don't already know, and yet not use my already existing contacts. So then I tried LinkedIn. Like many of us, we all have professional profiles on LinkedIn, and it is a great network for a lot of things, for us to personally keep connected with our colleagues and with people we've done business with. But I didn't find it particularly helpful as far as me recruiting new individuals to be outside sales representatives or to run offices for us. I like the groups. I'm a member of several of those to keep myself updated onto what's going on in the industry. But what I also found is a lot of the groups that I've joined, they all have a job discussion tab within there where I can post a job for free anyways. And there are options for me to post jobs through their network. It gives me only 1 to 3 recruiter licenses. When I've used their in-mail version to contact candidates, I have either gotten no response or they were confused as to why I was calling them, so it didn't have a good passive networking capability. The cost per job slot was very high, and there's no privacy. If I put a job out there on LinkedIn, every one of my competitors can see what I do, and immediately they follow right behind me. So it kind of waters down the effect that I'm trying to have looking for new people. And that's when we found Jobfox, which I absolutely love. One of the main things I like about Jobfox is it allows me to add passive candidates to the network. And first, I should go back to say that the Jobfox network is a completely new network for us. It's not me utilizing a network that I've already built up. It's not me utilizing or trying to tap into individuals that I professionally or personally know. It's their network of their individuals. So these are new people that I'm targeting that are joining our network because they want to network with us. Passive candidates and active candidates are both able to join our network. My network is continually growing, and I have control over who's seeing it. I have control over who I let into my network. So if I see a particular person is with a competitor of mine, I don't have to let them in my network because I don't want them to see every message that I put out there. And I also have a choice to invite people to my network if I want to. I found Jobfox that the matching qualifications for the candidate that I was looking for has been much higher and much better. Instead of just putting out suggestions of people with any type of sales background, they can fine-tune it. They can put in my specific requirements. If I want to put merchant service sales, which is our industry of sales, I can put that in there, and it really has a better job of giving me the candidates that are more qualified, that know what to expect in this industry and in this position, which saves us a lot of time and a lot of money recruiting them. So it also, I can put up unlimited job postings across many locations, and I have multiple recruiter access. So I can put up a new job post anytime I want in any city, any state that I want, and it can be as specific or as open as I want. So right now, I probably have 30 to 40 different jobs in different areas. When I fill an area, I take it down and I put it up in another one, and it's very quick, it's very efficient, and it continually builds the network of everybody. And I love the boost. The boost enables us to utilize the referral networking portion of it. So, for example, our boost network, if I have 2,000 people in my network and I put a little specific job post out there that I'm hiring for in a specific location, I put that message out to my network. I can put it out to my entire network, or I can target the location or the type of individuals that I want to send it to. I send that out to them, and within a day, 2 days, I'm getting responses from either them if they're interested, and in many, many cases from their friends that they forwarded the boost onto that are now interested in the position. So how I use Jobfox. About 2 to 3 times a week, I go in from anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes a day. The first thing I go in, I review any new applications for people that have applied to job postings that I currently have there. I then take a few moments to go through the suggested candidates section, and then I invite some people that look like they might be a good fit or somebody I might want to talk to in the future to join our network. About 1 to 2 hours a week, I either add a new job posting or I deactivate a position that is currently up. And then I also sometimes will search the suggestion list for qualified candidates in a specific area to see if I'm going to contact them or if I want to pass them along to a different recruiter to contact. And then about 15 minutes per month, I send out a boost request. I'll pick a specific area and send specifically them the new job, whatever job I need to recruit for, so that I can get that rolling along and gather more qualified candidates for the position. So now I'm just going to give a couple screenshots here so you can get an idea of what Jobfox looks like and what my network looks like. As you can see, over to the left-hand side is a list of all the active jobs I have. And within each one of those, when I click on one of them, it shows me the number of applicants I've had in that area, how many people have been referred, and how many suggestions there are. So this is like an unlimited database of resumes. If I want to go through everybody in this network, I can. We don't, because we want to qualify them and we want to target them so that we're not wasting our time. But the network is huge, and it's continually growing. This is one of our networks where you can actually see what it looks like. So out of 2749, I believe it says, professionals in my network, it tells me right off the bat a little bit about them. This is the entire network. I could also go in to see different areas, different locations, and narrow it that way. So instead of looking at 2,000 professionals, I might be looking at 60 in one specific area. And this is a good example of the suggestions. So for this regional sales position, there are 51 candidates that aren't in my network already that are qualified for this position. So I can go through here. I take a look at them, view their resume. If they seem like they're a good fit, I will usually invite them to our network. And sometimes I'll save them if they look like they might be a good fit for one of our positions so that I can later get back to them. So how is Jobfox different? The matching criteria, as I mentioned, is superior. Our suggestions are much more relevant, and it saves us time, it saves us money, and it saves us a lot on our training. We have a higher quality of candidates. They meet the qualifications, and they're generally just a higher quality. They have more experience. They're more professional, and they know how to do the position that we're looking for and how to represent our company in the best light. The candidates are always receptive. Even when we have contacted candidates that are passive and not necessarily looking for a position, when we say we're calling from Jobfox, they know who we are, they know who Jobfox is, and they're professional, and they either tell us they're not interested or thank you for giving them a call. They respond enthusiastically, and a lot of times we wind up putting them into our network for future job opportunities if they're not looking at this time. And I also like that the referral networking can actually be measured. So as most places will say, you can do referral networking, and even though you're doing it off your own network, you can't really tell and you can't really measure where those referrals are coming from, who they're going to, and who's interested in your position. With the boost request, it shows me, if I send my message to 1,000 people, it shows me that 1,000 people has sent the message to 100 others. It shows me that those 100 others have sent it or contacted me. So I get a real idea and a good measurement on that the referral marketing is actually working. And one of my favorite things about Jobfox is their staff. They are absolutely fabulous. With many of the other job boards, I have a salesperson or somebody that's there in your face every day of the week for weeks until you sign a contract with them, because they're all about sales. But once you sign that contract, or once you're a client with them, you never hear them from them again, or you have to go through 6 different people to finally get help with something that you may need. With Jobfox, from the moment I signed on with them, they helped me start my network. They put everything together for me. I sent them one job description. They put it in all the different locations for me so that it saves me time. They set things up for me, and they're in constant contact with me. So whatever I need from them, they're there. Some of the tangible results that we have received while using Jobfox, I've been able to hire, and the number's a little bit higher now, more than 20 independent sales agents in the past 6 months, which is great because it may not seem like a large number when I'm looking to try to recruit hundreds, but when I can recruit 20 independent sales agents and every one of those agents are actually in the field and producing for us, and the turnover is disappearing, that is huge for our company. I've also been able to recruit 2 new candidates that are now independent sales offices. So they've had the qualifications, they've went through the training, and they understand not only how to run a sales team, not only how to close a sale, but how to run a company, how to run that business as its own entity and to bring in more sales and to be independent, although part of us. About 46% of our new hires are now coming from Jobfox. I've built up over 2,400 passive candidates in the Jobfox network. And every time I send out a boost, I get new referrals. One of them I sent out, I got 115 referrals from that boost. So the candidates that I hire are a lot higher quality than those from any other sources that we've used in the past. They're more committed to the position. They're a lot more professional, and they're actually producing at a higher production rate and staying with our company and building our company through the future so that I don't have to hire in that market again. So to summarize it, it allows us to use our social media to build a strong network of candidates. It's building a new social network instead of already using one that I have established in another area for branding or whatnot. The increase of quality of candidates, both the passive and the active. It's reduced our time to recruit. It's reduced our time screening them, hiring them, and reduced our cost with training them. So the last thing I just want to leave with is the difference that it seems to me. All the other job boards out there have been created with the sole purpose of people putting their resumes up there and employers posting jobs and the candidate just responding to that specific ad. To me, it's like Jobfox was built specifically to be used as a social network and to intuitively build a new network of people where there's privacy. My competitors can't see what I'm doing. It's much more targeted, they're qualified, and it seems to be a social recruiting solution rather than just another job board, which I really enjoy. So that is the end of my presentation, and if you have any questions, I would be happy to take them.
That's great. Thanks, Danielle. Danielle, can you hear me?
I can.
Great. I'm mic'd up then. Thank you very, very much, Danielle. That was a great presentation about how you use Boost and actually your overall experience. So for everyone online right now, we've been collecting questions, so I have some that I'm going to start to read to Danielle. We've got about 6 or 7 minutes left here before we end our webinar. So if you've been holding off from adding your question, please do so now. And as I said earlier, in the webinar. What we don't answer today, we will make sure that we get back to you. One of the things I'd like to mention while we're waiting for a few more questions to come in is if you are interested in learning more about Boost, and I mean specifically learning about how it would affect your company, just put in the chat window that you'd like us to contact you with your name, phone number, email, whatever appropriate, and certainly we'll reach back out to you. I'll mention this again at the end of this webinar with some more specifics and some email addresses. But right now, if you'd like to contact us and have us reach back out to you, please just let us know in your chat window and we'll capture that. Okay? Danielle, I am ready with some questions. Are you ready to answer them? I think most of these that I'm looking at are for you, okay, which makes most sense. All right. You mentioned that it only takes a few minutes a day to use. How long did the initial setup take, and how long did it take you to learn how to use it?
This is great, and this is one of the things I liked about Jobfox so much as well, is the initial setup was very quick for me. Now, on the back end, what your department and your team had to do, I'm not real familiar with, but for me as the client, it was really easy. It took me a couple of hours to discuss. They took me through a training session to show me all the features of Jobfox and how that I could best utilize it. I came up with what my job description and my job posting was going to be. I sent it over to my account executive, and they actually put it in there for me. So they did the majority of the work for me.
All right, great.
To use it, it's really easy. They gave me a training where they took me through each and every portion of it, but a lot of it is just going into it. It's user-friendly. It's intuitive. It's basically, if you can read and click, you can use the system very easily. And anytime I have a question or if there's a new feature, my account executive gives me a call. We take 10 or 15 minutes and go over it, and it's like you're an expert in no time at all.
I'm trying to read the questions as they come in, Danielle, so I wasn't listening to your complete answer. But one of the things I would say, for those of you who wonder, the training session is a 45-minute online training session. So you do what you're doing right now. You sit in your seat. We have trainers that take you through everything, and then from there, Danielle's response obviously takes over. Okay. So second question, Danielle. I think you answered the first half of this, but the second half may be very appropriate. How do the boosts work? Are you getting good candidates? But the second question is, do you have to give a reward to get responses? And I think that goes back to the comment that I made in the presentation content about what Boost is that you are able to give a bonus or what we call a spiff, much like you would do an employee referral program. This is a network referral program. So I'll go back to this little explanation there, but I'll go back to again. How are Boosts working for you, Danielle, and do you have to give a reward to get responses?
Okay, so the Boost works great. I've had a very high number of referrals come from using the Boost. Now, Jobfox, sometimes they suggest that you do a spiff. I'm rather cheap, so the first time I decided to try it without to see what would happen, because to me, I wanted to see what the results were going to be if I didn't put a spiff in. So I've put Boost out there without a spiff, without a reward, and I've still had high returns. So that, to me, it works great. The quality of the candidate that has come from the Boost is very high. It's higher than any of the other candidates because they're looking through what the request is. They're sending it to their friends or their family members or people that they know that would specifically meet those qualifications and that are looking for a job at that time.
Okay, great. All right. Thank you. Next question. Does the Jobfox database contain passive candidates or itself, I think they mean, or do you have to get referrals for these? No, it contains passive candidates. So when we were looking at the one slide which showed all of those suggested people, those people aren't referred by anybody. They're in the Jobfox system. They meet my qualifications, so I have the option of inviting them. If they don't want to join my network, they don't have to. In many cases, they do, though. So they may not be currently looking for a new position, but they're obviously looking to build their network of different business owners and different businesses so that in the future, when they want to look for another position, they're building up their networks as well. So the majority, I would say, are passive
or I'm sorry, the majority of candidates are passive that are in the network itself, but there's also active ones that are actively looking for new positions.
Okay.
Does that
All right,
answer
great.
it?
Yep. Yep. I think so. All right. I'm going to take two more, Danielle, and then we're going to wrap up. So the next one, I'm going to be a little random here. It just came in. So from the 47 postings you currently have out there on Jobfox, have you found Jobfox effectiveness to be better with higher level positions, more junior positions, entry level, slightly above, or is it equally effective for a variety of needs?
I would say it's equally effective for both, but because I have two positions out there, and both of my positions are sales positions. One is a very high position because not only do they have to be able to have sales experience with dealing with customers and leading a team, they have to be able to run an office. So they have to have business management experience, business owner type experience, and they need to be able to run their entire own company basically, as well as doing the sales. So those candidates, they're a very high quality, they're professional, they have the experience we're looking for. In addition, we have sales agents where their experience does not have to be that high. Although I prefer, of course, if they have experience in outside sales or with B2B sales, we do get candidates that have no experience that I can train them if that's the type of personality, if that's what they're looking for in their career, because we have our own system in-house. We have a very good training program. So those candidates, they're more qualified for what I'm looking for. So I can weed out people that just have retail sales and are not looking for outside or B2B sales. And I can hone in on those that do have the skills we're looking for.
All right, great. Hey, one other thing I would mention on top of that for all of you, we're a full-service recruiting site. I know Danielle is focused on sales and specific types of sales, but our customers search for every type of profession out there, and we have candidates from every type of profession in our network. So it's a fully functioning recruiting site. I think you'd be very happy if you looked at it that way. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Let me add to that, Scott, because every position that you can imagine is out there. I'm just specifically looking for sales. But as I go through the different types of candidates, I can see that there's marketing professionals, there's media professionals, there's every position you can think of, information technology, computer. It's just I'm looking for sales.
That's right. That's right. Okay. I think we've got to end this webinar with this last slide. We typically like to keep these things to 45 minutes. We're at 46 right now. We started a couple minutes late. I wanted to come back to relay to everyone, if you're interested in learning more about Jobfox Boost, what should you do? I've got 3 suggestions for you. First is send me an email at scott.hughes@jobfox.com. You can see that in the grade bar section of the bottom of the PowerPoint slide, or put in the chat box for us to contact you. But what we'd like to do, if you're interested, is we'll do a needs analysis with you. We'll tell you a lot more about Jobfox Boost than we told you today, how it specifically works and how it could work for you. And we'll ask you a lot of questions to see if it's a good fit. If it is, give us one of your jobs. All right, we'll show you what the suggestion list looks like that Danielle talks about. We'll tell you about how you can build networks. We'll effectively give you a custom demonstration so you can see how Jobfox Boost can work. All right, again, email me, scott.hughes@jobfox.com. Let's end by saying, Danielle, thank you very, very much. I think that you told everybody what we had talked about at the beginning of this webinar, so I think we met those expectations. And I just want to thank you for being a customer. It's great to have somebody with so much energy using our product. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Scott. You've saved me a lot of time, a lot of frustration, and a lot of money in this department, so I appreciate it.
All right. All right, folks, this webinar is officially ended. Have a great afternoon, and hope to hear from you all. Bye-bye.